Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make money sharing stuff with others. So this includes pretty much anything that you might own. If you want to make some extra money without really having to work, without having to spend your time doing much, without having to actually start an actual business. If you want to just make some extra money, you want to use things that you already own. I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can do that. So the first is with Airbnb. And Airbnb allows you to book homes and different places in cities where you actually get to experience what it's like to live there instead of just staying in a hotel room. So this has been a big trend lately. People are getting to the point where they want an actual experience, and they want to actually get a unique vacation from being in a unique home that is in the area they want to be in. So whether it's part of a home, maybe it's a section of someone's house, whether it's the entire place, the entire condo, the entire house, the entire apartment, you can actually lease out your place for a night or two at a time, or even more, and make extra money from it. So if you're not going to be home, you could even maybe have people stay at your place when you're on vacation, or when you're going to visit relatives, or if you just want to go do something, or if you want to host people. Maybe you actually like meeting new people. You can host them, and let's say you have a mother-in-law quarters or a pool house or something in your house where guests can stay comfortably. You can lease that out to people through Airbnb, and it gives them more of an experience of the city, like someone who lives there for a few days instead of just staying in a hotel room where pretty much every hotel room looks the same anyway. So what you can do is kind of go on Airbnb.com, look at the different places that are offered, look at different experiences, kind of get an idea of what a good listing looks like. These are a few right here: 5 bedrooms, 1 bedroom. Some of these are apartments, some of these are actual like mansions. So you can go to all kinds of different places, and they're actually furnished, and they're where people live. So there's pretty much whatever you want to do is already there, and it's a much more unique experience. So what you can do, you can either host extra space, like I said, guest house, pool house, mother-in-law quarters, things like that can be great. Or even just a few rooms in your house. You can host for your neighborhood. You can host unique experiences where they just stay in your house, or you can take them on little tours and things like that. Instead of just kind of letting them do their own thing, you can kind of show them around the place you live, show them around the city, find cool stuff for y'all to do, and that's just a way that you can make money from your home. So if you want to kind of get involved with Airbnb, there's a great beginner's guide here on learnairbnb.com. This entire site is basically dedicated to Airbnb. So you can learn all about this from this beginner's guide, and it'll show you a lot about how to get into hosting, what you need to look at before you do it, downfalls and upsides of doing it, what kind of expectations you should have, how you need to prepare your home, whether or not you need to get your landlord's permission. If you are renting, obviously you want to do that. It's just a kind of helpful tip so you don't get yourself in trouble. You need to find the right customers. You might not just want anybody to stay where you live. Of course, this is your home. You want to have a good listing. You can look at some of the listings on their page. There's all kinds of stuff on here, whether it's experiences or homes, etc. But you also want to just get a quality listing if you want to make more money and get it done right. You want to protect your identity, protect your valuables and things like that as well. So you can just kind of go through this. I'll have a link to this page for you. And if you want an alternative, there's another one called HomeAway, and you can go to homeaway.com. If you're looking just for an alternative and want to see what else is out there besides Airbnb, you can rent all kinds of different places that are actual like houses and cabins, and book those instead of just little hotel rooms. So you can also list your property up here and go through the steps to do that. It's similar to Airbnb. Number 2 is Turo. So Turo allows you to lease your car out to people for, small amounts of time, and you can do it per day. That's typically how people do it, is pretty much by the day, instead of people renting from Enterprise or National Car Rental or all these other places. You can rent cars from actual people, and if you have multiple cars and you don't really need to drive yours all the time, or if you work from home and don't actually have to commute every day, this could be a great way to earn some extra money, quite a bit actually, hundreds of dollars per day, depending on what car you have and where you live. And it can give people a unique car, maybe something they wouldn't find at a rental car place, and it saves them money and it makes you money. So it makes everything a lot more efficient with renting cars. So Turo.com for that. If you want to kind of see how it works, whether you're into renting a car or listing your car, in this case we're trying to make money listing the car. So you would just list it. You have a free listing that you can do. You describe it, do some photos, of course. You want to make it look nice. I recommend you kind of sign up as a car renter as well, just to kind of get an idea of what good listings look like, and which ones attract you. That will give you an idea of what to do. You respond to requests. They have an app for Apple and Android devices, so it works that way. You can use the app to respond to requests and accept or decline people. You can meet them first if you want, and you make quite a bit of money by just having them pay whatever it is that you require per day or per hour to let them use your car, and then they pick it up and you can just kind of let them use it for a while. So as far as eligibility goes, obviously there's a lot of things you need to keep in mind when loaning your car to people. So you need to think about insurance. You need to be at least 21 years of age. You need to be in the United States or Canada as of right now. That's the only two countries they really are in. You can hold a non-US or non-Canada driver's license, but you need to be at least 25 to do that. You need to have a passport, photograph of your license, and all of that, just for additional verification. You need to have a mobile phone, of course, because text messaging and the apps are how you make deals with people. And of course, you have to have an account with Turo and everything. So if you want to find an alternative to Turo, there's one called getaround.com. So that will also allow you to rent your car out and make listings. It kind of looks more like a little social media profile, I would say. You can also make money by referring your friends, but they also have an app for iPhones and Android devices. So it's free, and you can make money from that as well. Very similar to Turo. So another thing, if you don't want to focus on your car or your home, or you want to just do as much as possible, you can also do Spin Lister. So Spin Lister is basically when you have a snowboard or skis or a surfboard or a bike, and you want to lend it to people in exchange for money. So you can also meet these people and, spend some time with them, or you can just kind of lend it by sharing your bike or surfboard or snowboard, etc. You can make up to about $500 per month. As you can see on the site, you can just easily list your ride by clicking one of these buttons. And as far as how it works, you book a ride and pay for it. After you've found the ride that you want to look at, you can list it. You look around where the ride is located. maybe it's closer to you. If you live in a big city, this is especially good. And then you just get the ride, use it, get it back from them. They have theft protection, damage protection, and all of that just in case. So they cover pretty much all your needs. And it's pretty straightforward. So I'll also have a link to the frequently asked questions page. And they do take a 17.5% cut of your listing fee. So basically, if you charge a certain amount of money per day, they take 17.5%. So instead of you just paying the listing fee, they just take a percentage of whatever it costs. Just things like that. So you can rent kind of when you want to rent. They have policies in place if it's stolen or dented or something while it's being used. They have all kinds of insurance, and they have users in over 100 countries now. So if you're in another country besides, say, the US, you can use SpinListers. So check that out in your country. You can't accept cash. This is all by credit card. So just a few things like that will help you kind of get an idea of whether you should do it or not. But it's, like I said, it's bikes, just kind of smaller forms of transportation. Number 4, neighbor goods. So this basically covers anything that I haven't mentioned yet, which is, tools, ladders, cooking ware, stuff like that. You can lend to people. And it's usually people in your neighborhood. It's very close by. And it's just a way to help your neighbors, and then your neighbors can pay you a little money. Or you could even trade. So if you want to trade a ladder for the day for a vacuum cleaner or something with one of your neighbors, you can do that. Or you can make a little extra money from it, depending on what you want to do. You would go just to neighborgoods.net and check that out. I'll have a link to all these pages for you. But it's local, so you can literally just walk down the street, find somebody, lend something to them, and get paid to do it. And all you have to do is just own the stuff you're lending, and maybe make a little profile and log in with neighbor goods. So this is the FAQ page, and I'll have a link to this page for you. It covers pretty much everything that you need to know. What should you add to your inventory? So you can, like I said, sporting equipment, chairs, power tools, ladders, cooking ware, vacuums, mops, whatever, stuff like that people would typically do like chores and little projects with. They'll tell you kind of what gets borrowed the most frequently, how safe it is, just different things like that. You can create groups of people that you may trust the most. And they have this thing called the panic button for conflict resolution if there's something that goes wrong or if you get in an argument about stuff. So there's different things that you can look over here. It's pretty straightforward. You're basically just trading or making a little money from lending out your stuff to neighbors. Number 5 is Lending Club. So Lending Club basically allows you to just lend your money, and you can get a return on it. In fact, they actually claim that you can get a much bigger return than you can from, say, the stock market. And it's pretty much an entirely hands-off approach. So it's peer-to-peer lending, meaning you are the lender, you're acting as a bank, and you are lending money to people who need to borrow money. So instead of you going to a bank to get a loan, people might go to Lending Club, where people like you would be the investors. So it's all diversified. It's not like you're just doing one-on-one type stuff. It's not like you're just lending money to one person and then you're the only investor. It's not like that. It's actually like diversified. You have a lot of borrowers. You have a lot of investors. You get a good return on your money. It's all insured and everything through Lending Club. The Lending Club does the background checks and all of that for you. So it's pretty much an easy way to invest your money that you just have lying around with your savings account that's not going to be making you any interest anyway. So it's a way for you to invest your money without having to go through too many hoops of or worrying about the stock market and things like that. So if you want to know more about how it works, of course they cover that on their website. You can look at what it's like to be a borrower or what it's like to be an investor. Some of the benefits here you can see, it's an easier online application, lower fixed rates. You have a fixed monthly payment. You don't have a lot of hidden fees and things like that from banks. You know, some people just don't like dealing with banks, and a lot of times you have to jump through more hoops to deal with a bank, more paperwork, more background checks, more credit checks. You have solid returns. They claim that you can get around 5 to 7 or so %, which is very good. It's more than usually you will get from index funds with the stock market. Of course, depending on what year it is or what's going on in your country. But in many cases, 5 to 7% is extremely good, whereas you might get 2 to 3% a year from stock returns. Monthly cash flow, of course, makes you some extra money off of money that wouldn't be making you anything otherwise. It would just be sitting in your account most likely. It's a more simplified way to do things. It's diversified across many loans, so you don't have to just depend on one person and have a lot of pressure over that. And they also have retirement accounts available now, so that's kind of cool. So this is kind of the more frequently asked questions area of the site, and they have a page here that lists all the requirements for becoming an investor. So you might want to read through that. I don't want to read the entire thing to you in this video. It might take a while, but you can kind of get the idea of whether you're financially suitable to do this. You need to be at least 18 years old. You need to have a social security number ready. Obviously, they have to verify your identity and everything for this, and you have to be the right age. You have to have enough money to do it. You can invest as little as $25 in any loan, and it can be diversified across as many as 100 notes. So that allows you to really minimize your downside and maximize your upside. Like I said, 5 to 7% is really good. There's different account types. They even have 401ks and IRAs now for retirement if you want to do that. If you're not really wanting to do your retirement through stocks or managed funds and things like that. And they're pretty flexible. So it's kind of a more simplified way of just lending money and diversifying, getting a little more back, helping people that need the money more, and this way you're kind of bypassing the banks. So Lending Club, definitely something I recommend if you want to just kind of make some passive income. Also, if you want to check out one of their competitors, one of their top competitors is called Prosper. You can go to prosper.com, and they allow it to easily check for rates, and you can invest or borrow here, of course, and it allows you to do a lot of the same things that Lending Club does, so you might compare those. But anyway, if you got something from this video, if you feel like you learned something about some ways to maybe make some money off of things that you already have, whether it's your spare cash, whether it's your power tools and cooking ware and ladders, stuff around the house, whether you're lending your surfboard, skis, bikes, whether you're lending your car to people for a couple days, or you're allowing people to stay in your home. These are things that many of us own, or at least we own at least one or two of these things, and these are some ways that you can pretty easily make money from those things, leveraging all these new sharing economy style businesses that have sprung up in the last couple of years. So if you got something from this video, please like and subscribe, and so I can make more videos like this for you, show you some more cool things that you could do, strategies, tools, services. And if there are some other kind of sharing economy style startups that I didn't mention where you can just share stuff that you have without really having to put in any hours. I know there's other things like Uber and Lyft, for instance, but you have to kind of put in the time. It's really more like a side job than it is just making money from sharing. So that's why I didn't mention them. So if there is something like these where you just have something already and you can lend it to people, let me know in the comments, or just let me know what you thought about the video. I'd love to get your feedback. I'm always looking to improve. So let me know what you think. And all of the links, video notes, related content to this video will be on one page for you at selfmadesuccess.com. So you can go to the title of the video there and find the page for you to get all the resources out of it. And I will also have a link to that page in the video description. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.